We'll have a moment of silent meditation and pledge to the flag. Thank you. I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, hold on. Put this here so I don't lose it. Good morning. It is April 5th, 2023, 10 o'clock, 10:02, and we call the meeting to order. Our county administrator is not here, but Colin Kuhn has stepped in, and we will now have consent approvals and things like that.
Good morning.
Good morning.
We have 12 exoneration listings for $3,156.64. We have one request to create a statement for $277.40. Minutes for March 29th, 2023. Vouchers, General County, $805,154.19. Coal severance, $22,884. 911, $5,627.67. Chestnut Ridge Park, $2,118.63. Camp Muffley, $2,861.42. Recreation levy, $147.73. Assessor's valuation, $1,845.34. Purchasing cards, General County, $6,810.79. 911, $191.63. Chestnut Ridge Park, $2,080.70. Camp Muffley, $4,410. Mason-Dixon Park, $162.21 for a voucher total of $854,294.31. Position vacancies for boards and authorities are listed on our website. We have fiduciary orders for April 5th, 2023, and itemization statement of services for fiduciary Commissioner George Armistead.
Move to approve the consent agenda as presented.
Second.
Probably moves in second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay, we have no fiduciary orders, so we'll move on. Introduction to new employees. Mark Music, assessor, has an individual. Oh, here we are. How you doing today?
Doing well. Not Mark Music, Patrick Tenney, Mark's chief, deputy. Came this morning to ask permission for the hiring of Susanna Hall as a personal property deputy. Ms. Hall will be replacing Pam Stanley, who's retiring at about the middle of the month, I think, somewhere around there. Her starting date would be April 10th, which would be Monday, 35 hours a week with benefits eligibility and a 90-day introductory period.
Move to approve the personnel as presented.
Second.
Proper move in second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
Thanks, Patrick.
Thank you. Mr. Jimmy Smith, Director of everything. Homeland Security, 911. We're going to throw some other things at you. Traffic control.
Yes. This morning, I'd like to introduce Austin Balliard. He's going to be starting as a telecommunicator at a rate of $19.18 per hour on April 17th.
Move to approve the personnel as presented.
Second.
Proper move in second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
Thank you. Is there any other new employees at this time? Okay. We will now go to comments from the public. Every individual has a right to come for 3 to 4 minutes. State your name, address, and we will go.
Hello, my name is Jason Charles. I am known by no other name. I do not have an address to provide for you, for it was taken away from me when I was unlawfully incarcerated. I was told I have permission to speak about potholes. Yes, today I'm here to speak about potholes. Let's first try to determine who has the authority to fix a pothole. I certainly do not have the authority, nor the certification to fix a pothole. Even if I went out to some back road, often referred to as a county road, but let's clear that up. There is no county road. There are state roads on a right-of-way of travel, and there are city roads on a right-of-way of travel. No county is responsible for fixing any road. Now, the county could call the state road department and request a pothole be dealt with, or they may go so far as to hire a contractor who is certified by the state to do the work needed on the road's surface, making the right-of-way of travel more untroubled. But Were I to go out and fix the backwoods pothole, I would be liable for anything that might arise from doing so. I might get injured fixing the pothole. I could cause an accident using the wrong material. I would be held liable. But the state, they cannot. They are in control. They have the authority. They must be the one praised for the trouble-free surface when the trouble-free surface appears fixed. We all know these potholes come back year after year. Sometimes in the same spot they return. Why? What causes these potholes? Some are caused by natural causes, starting with a small crack, a foothold, if you will. Water comes in from the raging storms. The cycle of freezing breaks down the potholes to the point that they can no longer stand. Some potholes are formed by overbearing heavy trucks, totally legal, causing unbearable stress on the roadway over the right-of-way of travel. That, over repetitive stress and to the surface, can no longer take the abuse and the pothole forms. Sometimes man comes along, cuts a hole in the right-of-way or the roadway, to add a utility perhaps, for they think that they are bettering one's life. Perhaps he claims to be keeping you safe. Maybe you don't want his fluorinated water. Maybe you rely on your own intelligence to keep yourself safe. Fun fact, the Supreme Court ruled that the law enforcement of the state is under no obligation to keep one safe. But he does not repair the surface back from his intrusive invasion, and the pothole forms from error. Any politician knows that if they fix all the potholes and prevent them from occurring, then no one would call on the politician to intercede on their behalf to the all-powerful state to act. So the politician does a balancing act in order to appease the public and to keep themselves relevant. Government is from the Latin meaning control of the mind. According to the Word of God, the Holy Scriptures written by man, inspired by the Spirit of God, we are to have the mind of Christ, and the government, the control of your mind, shall be upon his shoulders. Now the potholes that are caused by natural process, the ones that seem unavoidable, caused not by man, perhaps those are there to get us to realize to slow down, to keep watch, to avoid the man-made pitfalls. I am here to request that the pothole at the corner of University Avenue and Walnut Street be fixed. It seems to be one of those potholes that comes back year after year and gets worse over time. It is definitely one of those man-made potholes. You see me as a fool for showing up here today. You have decided in your hearts to punish me for my speeches. I say that I am not here in defiance of you, but in obedience to my Lord, my Savior, Jesus Christ, to go into all the earth and preach the truth of the Word of God. For it is written, for those who seek signs and for those who seek knowledge, to them the gospel of salvation is foolishness. God is not an author of confusion, and he is no tempter by lies.
Thank you, Jason. Is there someone else who would like to speak?
Blocking you out.
Yeah.
Good morning, Commissioners. Jamie Summerlin, 209 Kingwood, Morgantown. I wanted to follow up on some comments that I made last night at the City Council meeting, just to get it addressed into the Commission's hands as we continue to elevate these issues in the downtown area to our delegates and representatives. The points that I made last night was the Walnut Street Bridge lights. That's been a discussion, I know, between the city and the DOH, and who's responsible, who owns the lights, who can replace the lights, who actually has the physical lights, the bulbs to actually replace those. And it seems that there's a wild search around the state to be able to find those lights, to be able to get those replaced. I know there are city employees that would take care of those lights if they could. But it seems like nobody's taking responsibility or ownership just yet, and I'd like to get those addressed. They have been reported numerous times on the Morgantown 311 app, which I have to praise has been an awesome addition to our community, because we're able to get situations and issues resolved in the community, and I appreciate the fact that the city has implemented that. But there have been a lot of complaints about that. And as we get into the summer season with the events happening at the Ruby Amphitheater going on, there are people, including myself, our family, and our neighbors, that have communicated to the representatives here locally about getting those things taken care of, because as we leave the events at night and walk back to our homes here in the downtown area, it would be nice to have safety in mind and have the same amount of pride as is in the amphitheater events within our community streets, sidewalks, and things of that nature. So I'd like to at least bring it to the commission that we're trying to get some of these things repaired and taken care of downtown, and at least get somebody to take some ownership for that so that we can get that to be a safe travel way for those of us that walk and try to alleviate the car traffic and things downtown. The other thing that I wanted to mention was recently in the newspaper, and I addressed this last night as well, there's been some conversations about the fact that with the flooding and our 100-year rains that happen twice in 7 weeks, there on Pattison, flooding a couple of years ago, I know that there was some concrete repair. There was some work that was done because one of the lanes was closed at the intersection. DOH was in there repairing that. That took a little while. There's been some efforts by MUB doing the studies and then trying to get WVU and the DOH to jump in to help remedy that situation, figure out what could be done to fix from the Pompano Run area all the way down, and so that they don't have that happen again on Pattison and some of the homes that were damaged through that efforts. Unfortunately, as it's been shown in the paper, and at least what I've heard and read, that DOH and WVU has not stepped up to the plate to engage in that study, and it, I think, is something that we should really lean on those partners to help make happen, because they all use them. They all use the roadways. As I'd mentioned last night, if that flooding happens during a football game, we see how quickly those roads would be repaired and that flooding issue would be resolved. And if it doesn't, then fingers get pointed to entities that may have been trying to get that resolved, but it just becomes a finger-pointing issue at that point. So I just wanted to address it with the commission that there are individuals, organizations, people trying to make these things happen and better our community, and I would appreciate anything that the commission can do to help lean on that as well, to get those parties to the table and help make these areas of concern something that we don't have to worry about, so that we can focus on the things that will draw more businesses, individuals, and opportunities here to promote what we have right here in our backyard. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Jamie.
Is there someone else? Morning, James.
Good morning, Commission. James Giuliani, 256 Prairie Avenue, running for First Ward City Councilman in a citywide election in the city of Morgantown. Very, very important. We're at a tipping point, folks. We're at a tipping point. West Virginia University's made announcements. I'm glad they've made these announcements now, because guess what? Now that we know, we can act. We can now be proactive, okay? Panhandling. Last couple of months has been homelessness. Now it's panhandling. I'm going to read what I wrote on Facebook in response to Tom came to the city council last night to present his idea. I wish he would have done it at this meeting instead of the city council meeting, take the air out of the room for us at city council. I like defense in depth. I like the problems we're having with that they don't do anything. We've spent 3 months' rent and we've got nothing. 30,000, 60,000, 90,000, 500,000. Well, here's what I say. This is a novel idea, but the city has ordinances in place. Now the county who doesn't, which you do, but obviously you don't enforce yours, okay? Who doesn't wants to make a better panhandling ordinance for all parties to cooperatively establish and use to address the problem. So who is going to enforce this ordinance? We already have laws which need enforced. Criminal laws for drugs, open containers. The list goes on and on. So now it is a panhandling problem, not a homelessness issue. The real issues are out of control drug and alcohol abuse within the downtown, overtaken with criminals and drug dealers, thieves, and worse. Let's address the root of the problems, enforce the real problems, and the already aggressive panhandling issue, which we already have an ordinance for in the city, will start to improve. And with no enforcement, there'll be no change. So, what I've suggested is somehow you have a much better relationship with West Virginia University than the city does, because you said they're already on board. I've never heard anything about panhandling. You mentioned something about tickets. That's called scalping. But in any case, if we're going to do this, then guess what? We can't allow Granville and Westover to be our stepchildren. They have the same problems. I'm driving to the mall in Westover. That's where I see them. I'm at University Town Center. That's where I see them. So those are problems that those communities have, okay? So guess what? if we're all going to work on this together, let's let Big Granville, Star City, and Westover be part of the equation from day one. So what I'm saying to you is that if somebody's got a better idea, because in the city of Morgantown, I'm going to tell you at this point in time in the history of Morgantown, and you proved it for me, Tom. You said it. Every panhandling that happens, every incident, every time somebody panhandles in Morgantown, it's aggressive. By the very fact that everybody that feels the panhandling in Morgantown has taken over and they don't want to come down there because guess what? They're accosted. They're berated. All these different things. So what I'm suggesting to you is that Morgantown can enforce theirs right now. You can enforce yours right now. So let's enforce what we have on the books, and let's all move forward, and let's do this. If everybody wants to work together, let's work together, and let's do it.
Thank you, James.
Thank you, James.
Is there anyone else?
Hi, Ron Justice, 741 Johnson Avenue. Just wanted to come, I left you some programs, and thank you all for your support last weekend. Even though the weather didn't totally cooperate, it was a very nice weekend with two major events there at the baseball stadium and also the track facility with numbers of folks in the community from other areas. And you should be really proud of what you've supported and worked on and what is yours. And so when you see special things like a Major League Baseball player or former throwing out first pitches and kids with cell phones taking pictures while they're on fields and all the experiences that they have, that you know how important that is to them for the rest of their lives. And just want to come to you and say thank you for your support. I left you a program, and hopefully we'll continue to do many of these in the future. But I can tell you this, the biggest issue that we ran into last weekend was trying to find a place for about 48 school buses to allow the kids to take advantage of the facilities that we have here, and something that you all should be we're all very proud of. And I just thank you for your support. Look forward to doing it again in the future. So thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ron.
Is there anyone else willing to speak? We have a guest here representing the Honorable Alex Mooney, University House, U.S. House of Representatives, Mr. Rhett Dusenberry. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner Bloom, Commissioner Arnott, and Sikora. Thanks for allowing me to speak today on behalf of Congressman Alex Mooney. I'm Rhett Dusenberry, District Representative for Congressman Mooney. Just wanted to come by and introduce myself and also let you know that the Congressman's ready to assist you in any way possible that he can. A lot of his assistance not only comes in the form of legislation that might be brought to his attention that would help citizens of West Virginia and the county, but also grant letters of support. We do everything from AFG COPS, the courthouse security grants for metal detectors, and also we've done a lot of other ones for some of the school systems as well. Lewis and Upshur have worked together, and they've received 64 cameras for school safety and phones in the rooms, and also cameras on the buses, etc. We also have worked with law enforcement to assist with them getting grants for materials, etc. So please feel free to contact us, the congressman and staff. We also have an office here in Morgantown, a new office. So they're always open and ready to assist, and our district director is located out of this office as well, and that is my boss. So, but it's a pleasure to meet y'all, and we look forward to working with you and for you, because the congressman believes that government's the servant and not the master. So he's ready to help you in any way, shape, or form that he can within his purview. But thank you for allowing me to speak. Nice to meet you. I look forward to meeting your full-on administrator. She's doing a great job filling in, but we do a lot of work talking back and forth with administrators so as not to tie y'all up with phone calls. But just give me a call anytime. You have my email. Like I said, the cards that you have my email and phone numbers. Just give me a yell anytime you need, and I'll stop by and see you. Good to see you, and thank you, sir.
Very nice meeting you, Rhett.
Thank you.
My pleasure.
Really appreciate you coming, and we were able to speak with him for about 15 minutes before the meeting, and we are going to send off information concerning exit 155 in the Harmony Grove
Okay.
to do an update so that you would get Representative Mooney up to date on where everything is, and we look forward to working with him.
Thanks, sir.
Thank you.
Y'all have a good day.
You
And happy
too.
Easter.
Thank you. Is there anyone else who wants to speak? Seeing none, we'll close comments from the public. We have a proclamation, Sexual Assault Awareness Month. Is there someone here? Great. Did you want to? Does she have a copy? Okay, great. If you would like to read it, if you state your name and address.
Sure.
Thank you.
My name is Hannah, and I'm with our DVIC, and my address is 115 Mile Ground Road.
Okay.
Whereas Sexual Assault Awareness Month is intended to draw attention to the fact that sexual violence is widespread and has a public health implication for every community member of Monongalia County. And whereas rape, sexual assault, and sexual harassment impact our community, as seen by statistics indicating that 1 of 5 women will have experienced sexual assault by the time they complete college. And whereas we must work together to educate our community about what can be done to prevent sexual assault and how to support survivors. And whereas staff and volunteers of West Virginia sexual assault programs and other professionals have come together as the West Virginia Foundation for Rape Information Services to support each other in their work and provide the state of West Virginia and its citizens with a central source of information on sexual assault. And whereas with leadership, dedication, and encouragement, there is compelling evidence that we can be successful in reducing sexual violence in Monongalia County through prevention education, increased awareness, and holding perpetrators who commit acts of violence responsible for their actions. And whereas the Rape and Domestic Violence Information Center strongly supports the efforts of national, state, and local partners and of every citizen to actively engage in public and private efforts, including conversations about what sexual violence is, how to prevent it, how to help survivors connect with services, and how every segment of our society can work together to better address sexual violence. Now, therefore, be it resolved that Monongalia County Commission joins anti-sexual violence advocates and support service programs in the belief that all community members must be part of the solution to end sexual violence. Along with the United States government and state of West Virginia, the Commission does hereby proclaim April 2023 as Sexual Assault Awareness Month in Monongalia County and applauds the efforts of the many victim service providers, police officers, prosecutors, national and community organizations, and private sector supporters for their efforts in promoting awareness about sexual assault.
Move that we approve the proclamation as presented.
Second.
Properly moved in second. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Did you want to say anything else, or?
I will just say on behalf of our DVIC and the clients we serve, we appreciate your support and continued support.
Thank you. We appreciate what you do.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank you,
you.
Hannah. Very good job reading that.
Yes, a lot better than I did. Okay, we have Colleen Kuhn with grants.
I do not have any today.
Oh, we have no grants. Okay, correspondence. We received a resignation notice received from Brittany Israelson, Event and Logistics Coordinator at Mon County Center.
Yeah, her last day will be May 7th.
Okay. Do we have any other correspondence? Anyone else?
We received a letter of resignation from Mike Parr, GIS Coordinator in Floodplain, and his last day with the county will be April 14th.
Okay, that is correct. Okay. Any other correspondence, Commissioner? Seeing none, we'll move through unfinished business and new business. Consideration to approve a request by Heather Zini for use of the Courthouse Square, a Walk to Remember Facing Fentanyl event on June 11th, 2023.
Move that we approve the request as presented.
Second.
Probably moved in second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Consideration to approve requisition number 74 for the University Town Center Excise Tax District Administrative Expense Fund.
This requisition is in the amount of $2,175, and it's for Municap.
Move that we approve the requisition as presented.
Second.
Properly moved in second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Consideration to approve requisition number 20 for the University Town Center Series 2020 Property Tax District Administrative Expense Fund.
This requisition is for $993.75, and it is also for Municap.
Move that we approve the requisition as presented.
Second.
Properly moved in second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any other new business?
I do actually have one other thing.
Okay.
We received the draft audit report and the closing paperwork from Perry & Associates that you will need to sign.
Okay.
Move that we approve the president signing the audit documents as presented.
Second.
Properly moved in second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
It passes. Okay. Reports from elected officials and department supervisors. Good morning.
Good morning. Patty Lewis, Town of Granville. I wanted to report to the commission and also ask for your guidance or help. Since we had that work session and agreed on the three stakeholders to put in the traffic signals at University Town Center, when we were requested to get a letter from the DOH from West Ridge, we have hit a block wall. And this project has been on hold for too long. We've already lost about another 6 weeks, and I'd like to move forward, but I'd like the commission's opinion or guidance on that since we're all equal stakeholders in that project. I don't know if that's something that can be addressed next week when the DOH comes. Our engineer has even been in contact with DOH representatives in Charleston. We've given them our traffic report. We've given them everything they've asked for, and we cannot get anything from them.
So you are not receiving anything that isn't West Ridge, you're not receiving anything from the DOH? Well, one thing I could ask is if you could send me a synopsis, I will submit that to them before the meeting and have that as one of the agenda items.
Okay.
I think that's clear. How else did you want to?
And just to be clear, the correspondence that is lacking is
What Ryan Lynch asked for when we were in that work session.
from DOH. Ryan asked DOH directly
He asked us in the meeting that we had with you all.
to run everything through DOH, correct?
And it's not on, I don't really understand why this is holding us up, because
I just
it's
wanna make
not
sure
on a
I'm clear
DOH
on
highway.
on who isn't responding, though. DOH isn't responding.
Correct.
To your request. Okay.
Correct.
Okay.
The way you,
He wanted something in writing.
Coordination.
Well, coordination of the
Yes.
lights, because it was so close to the other lights, that's what he had asked.
And DOH had mentioned that, okay.
Yeah. But we
If you-
have our traffic study. I mean, we paid to have that done.
Without sending the study, though, I mean, if you could give me a one-page synopsis, and I will immediately send that in on behalf of the county commission
Okay.
and ask if they could look at that and then put that on our agenda.
Okay.
I
very
think that's a
good.
great,
Okay, very good.
Yeah.
Second thing, I don't know anything about what happened in the city council meeting, Morgantown City Council last night, but I am going to defend our Granville Police Department and our town as far as panhandling goes. We do enforce our ordinance.
do.
We can't do anything about Chaplain Road and the lights down there, though, because that's out of our jurisdiction. Actually, yesterday, we got a call from one of our councilmen. There was a panhandler up in the Target area, and we sent police immediately to address it. So we do address it in our community. Thank you.
and just for clarification that you didn't know, but in my speech last night, I said, I'm hoping that if we come up with a written offer, we would then bring in Star City, Granville, and Westover, because of what you're doing now was a lot closer with what we're doing, so that's why we didn't have you at this time. But we are going to use what you're doing too. So we thought it was just easier to do it that way. But we agree with you. Thank you. Is there anyone else who'd like to speak from elected officials, department supervisors? Okay, seeing none, we'll go to reports from county commissioners. Sean?
quick report. Since last week's meeting, we had staff reports on Friday, then we had interviews with the litter control office for the litter control officer position. It's been a slow week this week, as a lot of people know, is Holy Week for a lot of people. A lot of people are on, schools go on spring break as of today. A lot of people out of the office, so there's not a lot going on. But we'll be starting it back up with a lot of meetings next week. I did want to thank Ron Justice for your efforts in the baseball tournament. I know the weather didn't work out. I was up in Pittsburgh on Friday or Saturday, so I'm not really sure what the weather was like, but I heard it was pretty bad. But the fact that you got 5 games in,
Yeah.
again, bringing all these entities into the city to see our our county amenities, and to especially from the sports angle, and what we have up at Milan Park with the aquatic and track facility, the fields that you guys have done a wonderful job on over the last couple of years revitalizing, and of course our Mon County Ballpark. We're very proud of all those, and thanks for your effort to bring people to the city to utilize those. And that's all I have. I want to thank everybody. Well, I did want to mention one thing. Happy Easter. I know it's more of a religious holiday, but a lot of people, it's kind of an unofficial holiday. Our offices, the commission offices, that's just the commission office, will be closed on Friday. So I just want to make sure that we mentioned that for people that need to do business directly with the commission. And hopefully everybody has a wonderful weekend as the weather starts warming up. That's it.
Just to echo Sean's sentiment about Easter, hope everyone has a safe and happy holiday. I'd like to thank Mr. Dusenberry for coming in from Congressman Mooney's office. It's essential that we have this open line of communication with our elected officials. Senator Capito especially and Senator Manchin have been very responsive to our queries over the last year, and we look forward to working with Congressman Mooney in any way that we can help each other and help the citizens of Monongalia County. So that's all I got.
Yeah, I agree with Jeff. Mr. Dusenberry, we really appreciate you being here because he is new to this area, and I think the three of us would say we're one of the major economic engines for the state of West Virginia, and we need to make sure that we are able to move forward. And sometimes just because they see we have the university and we're doing so well, they think, oh, we have no problems. And to have you be on board, have a communication so we can be in contact with you so if something happens, especially, as we said, exit 155 and the Harmony Grove exit, this new business that's going to make the Mountaintop Bottling Company that I can say is now not producing anything, but they're running through all the trials. I didn't realize how long they have to go through for EPA to get it approved, but will make major difference for this North Central community. So we look forward to working with you, and I thank you for coming in and meeting with us. Second, I was able to represent the commissioners Monday night at the Clear Mountain Bank ribbon cutting, and for anyone who will go by that roadway at night, it is unbelievable. Technology, I don't know how they got that building in that small space, let alone the sign and light up. It's pretty cool. So I think I'm real excited that is there. Also, Jeff and I have been attending several meetings with the city administrators, with WVU officials, with individuals from HHH, I just say it that way, concerning the health rate situation. We have come up with a recommendation that we had sent a letter to the Health Right Board to wait and see where they are in working with them to see what we can do together to get that financial burden off of them to move forward so we can then move them up to the HHH complex and campus facility so we can offer more facilities and better programs for the individuals, as I call it, a one-stop shop, so they don't have to go all over the place. So we're real excited about that. And finally, yes, I did speak last night with the support of the county commissioners concerning the soliciting and panhandling problem that has become out of hand. It has become a major problem. First, it's unsafe for the panhandler who is in the middle of the street or stopping traffic and getting hit. It's also a continual problem that, and I want it real clear, and I want to say this again, our city and county, and I could say cities and county, with Granville, Westover, Star City, offer numerous opportunities to help individuals improve themselves. We have great reputation for caring for others. And what we offer and try and do to help other individuals, such as hot meals, accommodations, harm reduction, medical service, mental health resources. But the services are designed to help lift people, not create a cycle of behavior detrimental to this community. And it is very clear that we can keep offering these services, but at the same time, we can't give them options for them to choose not to use our free services. So we are trying to better them offering services. And when people say, well, I'm just helping them with with cash, I'm going to be very upfront. I am asking that you do not give cash, you give food, you give other alternatives, but do not give money, because we can't help these people if they're going to sit or stand on the roadway, and many of them are not homeless. I can tell you that right now, are not homeless, and they want to either do it that way rather than getting help. And we are all in this together, and we're trying to uniform it, and then enforcement is key, and that's what we're going to look at. I know I went a little bit more, and I don't know if the other commissioners want to say anything, but we are trying somewhere to help those individuals, and we're offering the services, and we need to provide them help so we can get them off that corner and getting them help that they need for them and their family. I don't know if anyone wants to say anything else, or we'll be quiet on that. Okay, do I have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second.
We be gone.